Happy Monday. I'm in a good mood. Austin's in a good mood. We're all in a good mood here. So, there was a lot of good football this weekend. A lot to unpack. It was a good football weekend, but it was an even better Monday. Stay tuned to figure out what that's talking about. But it was a good weekend of football. There's a lot to unpack. We're looking forward to talking about the game. We're going to chill, talk about the games, get you caught up to speed going into week 6 next week. Should be a good time. This is K&A Football. All right, Austin. So we're now 5 weeks done with the game. We're done with the NFL season. Aside from tonight's game between the Chiefs and the Raiders, should be a good game.
Almost a third done with the season.
Don't talk about that. It's a little sad, but yeah. It was a lot of good games yesterday.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of good games. A lot of games that we didn't really see coming, for sure. But with it being the end of week 5. Up until this point, we've been saying, oh, it's only week 3, week 4. Now, the end of week 5 is here, which means that with week 1 being the week of overreactions from every team, being like, oh, no, we're bad, or oh, no, we're great. Week 5 is when you actually start to be like, okay, if you haven't been playing well, it's time to panic. Right. If you've been playing well, you got to keep the foot on the gas. I saw an interesting statistic over the weekend that if your team is 3-2, you have like a 45% chance of making the playoffs. But if you're 2-3, it's less than a 22% chance of making the playoffs. So week 5 is a pretty big deciding week for most teams and their futures.
Yeah, this is the time of year where we start learning, like, oh, like this team is like legit, like they could do something, or this team is just like they were a fluke at the start of the season, like,
Right.
So, I mean, this is the fun part of the season, the bulk of the season. You're starting to learn everything all about these teams.
Right. The games start to matter. Your wins actually start to mean something where it has playoff implications, opposed to just kind of playing more of a preseason style of football for these first couple weeks. But there's a good lineup over the weekend, and I'm excited to talk about it. Yeah.
So this kickoff, week 5, there's a lot of good games this weekend. However, this was not one of them.
The worst of every NFL game I've ever watched.
If you did not watch this game, I am not exaggerating when I say I do not think that there will be a worse NFL game in history than the Colts and the Broncos on Thursday Night Football this week.
Yeah, if you didn't watch this game,
good for you.
I'm jealous. I envy you. I watched every minute of that game, and I am so sorry I did.
Yeah. I'm weird, so I can't go to bed if there's a game on. Like, I have to watch every minute of the game. Like, it's super weird. Like, I tried to do it earlier this season, but I couldn't go to bed, so I went back downstairs and watched the rest of the game. So, like, I'm sitting there, and I was like, this game is so boring. And my mom and dad are like, Caden, you don't have to watch it. Just go to bed. And I'm like, I can't do that. Like, I have to watch the game. But it was so boring. Like, 2 teams that had a lot of expectations going into the year just absolutely just faltered all expectations.
Yeah. If you don't know what happened in this game, you don't know what the final score was. To give you a little recap, there were 0 touchdowns scored this game. It was field goal, field goal, field goal, field goal. Regulation ended being tied 9-9. Forced it to overtime. And then we had to sit through an extra quarter of football to watch the Colts kick a game-winning field goal to win 12-9.
Yeah.
Which is just awful.
Nathaniel Hackett is a pretty bad coach. I mean, he's going down instead of tying the game in overtime to tie the game. He went for the touchdown on 4th and 2, and instead of just running the ball, poor Russell Wilson, he's experienced this too much in his career. But instead of just running the ball and getting the easy first or the touchdown, he throws. KJ Hamler was wide open in the end zone, and then throws it to somebody else, and it was incomplete.
Russ throws it into traffic.
Yeah.
Incomplete when he had a wide open guy.
Yeah. But
classic Russ.
I mean, if you're a Colts fan, congrats on the win. You can't be happy. I mean, both teams deserve to lose.
Yeah. I wish that we could redact the win from the Colts and the loss from the Broncos and just give them both a loss here.
None of them deserved to win. That was really sad. But the saddest part about it is this Thursday's game might be even worse. It's the Bears in Washington.
It has potential to be worse.
Which is very sad.
Fortunately, Justin Fields has looked electric. Carson Wentz has been putting up good numbers despite all the interceptions he throws. So we should actually get touchdowns this Thursday. Hopefully. But yeah, that game was atrocious. We obviously both got that game wrong. We assumed that there would be like a touchdown scored or like some semblance of offense, but there wasn't. Yeah.
I'm trying really hard to stay focused, but I just see out of the corner of my eye Sue Ellen back here selfieing everything. Just selfie.
Man, Sue Ellen's taking all the B-reels.
Whatever.
Literally just a
jump into the next game.
Instagram white girl.
Giants, Packers in London. Giants with a good comeback, escaping with a win. Giants looks good.
Yeah. The Giants ended up winning. The Packers offense has been doing next to nothing all year so far.
Yeah.
So Packers, it's time to start being concerned. Maybe go sign Odell. He's going to come back at some point soon this year. He should be. His ACL's pretty much recovered, so he should be good to play coming up pretty soon. But you need a wide receiver. Like, they can't throw the ball. They have done nothing. New York was up at the end of this game. Green Bay, in classic Green Bay fashion, went down to tie the game, or to win the game. Aaron Rodgers then shockingly gets batted down twice at the line. So that gives it back to the Giants. The Giants can't do anything. They give it back to the Packers. Aaron Rodgers, you're like, okay, here it is. Aaron Rodgers, time for his Hail Mary. We all know the drill. He trucks one up, they catch it, Packers win. Aaron Rodgers, Hail Mary, classic. Didn't happen. The Giants actually brought a good rush.
They got in there in like a second.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers had no time to roll out. It looked very similar. The breakdown of it looked very similar to the Arizona Hail Mary that he threw, where he rolls all the way out to the side, throws it from the left hash, all the way down to the end zone. But he couldn't get the ball off this time. This time, they sacked him. He actually fumbled the ball, and the Giants jumped on it.
Yeah. Packers, they got a lot to worry about. I mean, they don't have anyone for Rodgers to throw to. Their offensive line doesn't look great. I mean, the Giants were getting in there like so easily. Mm-hmm. They were batting the balls. Like their offense just as a whole looked really bad. Their running game didn't do anything. Like Packers, I mean, they got Aaron Rodgers, so obviously you can't count them out. But they got a lot to think about going into the next couple of weeks. They got to start looking at receivers and free agency, or maybe try to work a trade out for somebody.
Absolutely, yeah. They haven't done anything, like you said. Time to panic. But, congrats to New York, man.
Hey.
Their coach is phenomenal. They took a squad that looks exactly like it did last year. They didn't really add pieces. They didn't lose any pieces. It's the same guys. Saquon's healthy, so that is a big bonus. But credit to the coaching. Shows what good coaching can do when you have it.
Yeah. Week 5, probably unanimous coach of the year so far.
Yeah, absolutely.
Taking a team that hasn't won 4 games in the last, I don't even know how many years, and now they're 4-1, second in the NFC East, which is incredible.
Yeah. I mean, it's a tight division over there.
It is. It's not the laughing stock of the league anymore.
It's shocking.
Yeah. Next game. Not much to say. I mean, Kenny Pickett, Steelers versus the Bills.
Yeah.
Kenny Pickett's first start. It's a pretty tough draw for Kenny Pickett for his first start to be against the Bills.
Yeah. I mean, the Bills won this one 38-3. Like you said, tough for Kenny Pickett, this being his first start. That's not to say that Kenny Pickett, isn't a good quarterback or whatever. Like, he played pretty well against a Buffalo defense that is actually incredible. So you can't hold him against that. He's still miles better than Mitch Trubisky. So he's got that going for him. But yeah, the Bills, they stomped on him. Yeah.
I don't think he could throw as many interceptions as he wants, and they're still going to praise him. I mean, I saw the thing. It's like when Mitch Trubisky throws an interception, everyone's like, oh, he sucks. And then when Kenny Pickett throws a pick or interception, they're like, oh, it's okay. Like, he's the future. Like, he can't really do anything wrong. Like, all the Steelers fans are going to look at him like he's the guy. Like, no matter what he does.
He is the future in their minds.
Right.
And so he's got, this grace window for the rest of this season, probably going into next as well.
Yeah. Gabriel Davis for the Bills. Shout out Gabriel Davis, man. Winning me my fantasy league. As long as Derek Carr can do something tonight, I'll be fine. But Gabriel Davis, 98-yard touchdown. What was it, like a 65-yard touchdown?
Yeah.
And then a catch for 6 yards. That was his stat line.
Yeah. He came out and scored, 32 points this weekend. I was playing, I play you in one league, and I play Debbie in another league. Debbie had Gabriel Davis
Ow.
on his bench.
On their bench.
On his bench.
That's awful.
Because he hasn't put up any points. He's put up like 6 points, 2 points, and then all of a sudden he breaks out this week, and so it looks like I'm going to beat Debbie.
That stinks.
In fantasy.
Yeah. This next game, I'll let you talk about because I'm sure you have something to say.
I got things to say on this
Chargers,
one,
Browns.
Chargers, Browns. Look, Browns organization. We are good. Like, if you would have told me going into this year that our quarterback that we traded for, Deshaun Watson, would not be playing this week against a Chargers squad that I believe has high potential to go to the Super Bowl, and that we were going to play this game, be ahead for most of it, play really well, and then barely lose, I would have laughed in your face. Because the Chargers are good, and the Browns, without a quarterback, I didn't think would be anything. Our running game is phenomenal. Jacoby Brissett is amazing. Like, if Deshaun Watson never came back and we had to play Jacoby Brissett forever, I would not be upset with that. Dead serious. Our defense could use some work. We have a lot of great pieces on defense. The defensive coordinator, there's a lot of talk that he's on the chopping block right now because obviously the defense hasn't lived up to the hype that was built this offseason. But overall, we are a really good squad. Jacoby Brissett is all but perfect in the first 57 minutes of any given game. But for the last 3 weeks, in that last 2 minutes and 50 seconds, he has thrown a pick because we need to go down the field, we need to score. And when he gets rushed, when he has to go out of the pocket and throw, obviously he is still a backup and he's not meant to be a runner, so he throws those interceptions. I'm not upset. It's unfortunate that we lose these games because we're better than this, but overall, I'm pretty happy with what we have going on in Cleveland.
Yeah. I mean, Chargers practically gift wrapped this game to the Browns, going for it on 4th and 2. Horrible play call, like horrible decision by Brandon Staley. He's made a lot of boneheaded mistakes as a head coach, and I think this is far and away his worst. That was horrible. Should have cost them the game. But, Cade York, he misses all of the clutch kicks except for when he's playing the Panthers, so he has to go out and miss the field goal. But, Browns, they've surprised, I think, most people. Their offense looks phenomenal. I think if you told a Browns fan going into the year, they would say that their offense would have been the problem and their defense would have been their strength, but it's completely been the opposite.
Yeah. I mean, the Chargers came into this game having 250 yards rushing for the whole year, 4 weeks leading up to this, and then they ran for 238 on Sunday, which is not good for the defense. But on our side of the ball with the running, Nick Chubb still leads the league in rushing yards. He and Kareem Hunt just are the best running back duo in football. We need to pay Kareem Hunt just as soon as the season is over, because if we lose either one of them, I don't think we're winning any games.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot to be happy about if you're a Browns fan.
Absolutely.
Chargers, I still think they're a good team, but they've got to wake up. They haven't played great.
Yeah.
Bears and Vikings, the Bears, they were so close. I say it every single week, but I feel so bad for Justin Fields. Like, he has nobody to throw the ball to. He's throwing to Equanimous St. Brown. I think it's Amon-Ra St. Brown's brother. He's throwing to Equanimous St. Brown. He's throwing to, what's his name? Darnell Mooney, who has done nothing this year. And his offensive line is horrible. Like, he is on such a bad team. And he made it a good game with this Vikings team. Like, they had a chance to go down the field and tie the game. They were down by 7 with 40 seconds to go. He hits the receiver. They're at the 50. He runs up to the 40, and then the Vikings corner just rips it right out of the receiver's hand, takes it back, game over. Justin Fields, his stats look awful. Their team looks awful, but he's a good quarterback, and I think after his rookie contract is over, if he can get out of Chicago, or Chicago can bring him some help, I think that he'll show that he is a good quarterback, and there's a reason he was drafted in the first round. But their team around him is so bad that he can't. No matter how good you are, you can't win with Equanimous St. Brown. Yeah.
Fortunately for Justin Fields, like you said, his stats look bad. Keeps losing games, but he is good. And fortunately, a lot of people do recognize that. I don't think there's a coach or GM in the league that's saying, "Oh, well, we'll just look at his stat sheet and he's not playing good, so we won't even consider him once his rookie contract is up." No, he plays well. He's a good quarterback. He's mobile. He can throw on the run. He can throw in the pocket if need be. Like, he's a good all-around quarterback. And so I'm excited for him to get out of Chicago just as soon as humanly possible, because that is a terrible organization, and I don't want to see a very good Ohio State quarterback's career diminish there.
I mean, they might be the worst quarterback franchise ever.
That's true.
But
worse than the Browns. That's saying something.
Yeah, it is. I mean, Vikings, they're good. They're a good team, and the Bears held their own. But, I mean, the Vikings got the win. They take the lead in the NFC North. But, I mean, they don't look dominant. But
right.
I mean,
I thought they'd look a lot better than they do this year so far. They still look good, but like you said, they don't look dominant.
Yeah. But next game was really shocking for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Lions and the Patriots. Jared Goff has played phenomenal all season long. And the Patriots were starting Bailey Zappi, which I do apologize. You'd said it was Zappy, and I was like, it's Zap. But you were right, it's Zappy. My apologies.
Accepted. Apologies accepted.
So Patriots were starting rookie Bailey Zappi, while the Lions were out here with their incredible offense. Amon-Ra St. Brown was back, and they got blanked.
Yeah.
Well, I don't like
16-0, I think.
Yeah,
it was.
like 19-0. Like
yeah, something like that.
Jared Goff, putrid. I mean, the Patriots defense got a touchdown. Jared Goff could not do anything. Lions, I was shocked. I mean,
yeah. I mean, we both picked the Lions.
Yeah.
The Lions were one of those teams that you're like, they're not great, but they're solid for sure. Like, they stand a chance to make the playoffs. Like, there's like a bunch of stuff. You're like, Lions are a good team. They're not great, but they're good. Patriots are not good. So it was really shocking to see the Patriots come in and win.
With Bailey Zappi.
Yeah.
Better than Mac Jones.
Yes, Bailey Zappi's like their third string quarterback.
Yeah. I mean, props to Bailey Zappi, 1-0 as a starter. But, I mean, their defense, Patriots' defense was phenomenal. I mean, I don't know what went on with Jared Goff. Their offense was the number one scoring offense in the NFL going into this game. And they got shut out, which is crazy.
Yeah. It's unfortunate for the Lions.
Yeah. They're 1-4 now. I mean, they got tied for the worst record in the league, which, I mean, you thought they'd be a good team. I think that they still are a good team and that they'll win games, but maybe we overhyped them a little bit too much.
I'm starting to think so. Like I said, week 5 is the time to start panicking. If you got a bad record, time to start panicking, Lions. You need to be able to close out games.
Yeah. And then the next game, Seahawks and Saints. We both said the Seahawks were going to be one of the worst teams in the league this year, and they were 2-2 going into this game, and so was New Orleans. New Orleans had Andy Dalton starting for this one again. Alvin Kamara was back, but still no Michael Thomas and no Jarvis Landry, I don't think. And then Chris Olave got a concussion in this game, so he was ruled out halfway through. But the Saints have someone named Taysom Hill, and he decided that he was just going to become, the greatest player of all time, and he explodes. He threw a touchdown. He ran in 2 touchdowns.
He had 69 return yards on kickoffs.
Yeah.
He had an absolute pancake of a block to get Alvin Kamara the gap to get the first down to close out the game.
I mean, he looks phenomenal. Seahawks, they've been in 2 back-to-back shootout games. Geno Smith, actually, as much hate as the Seahawks were getting this offseason, Geno Smith looks like a very good quarterback. He's in all these shootouts. He's making great throws. I don't know if you saw, he was rolling out to his left, and he threw it sort of I don't even know how to explain it, but he couldn't have thrown a better ball of 40 yards down the field. Geno Smith is an actual good quarterback, it looks like.
Yeah, I mean, what I would like to know most of all is, can we get one more bad quarterback in Seattle and see how Pete Carroll does? Because obviously Russell Wilson is not looking good in Denver, but he looked fantastic in Seattle. Geno Smith was ruled out as there's no way this guy will ever play in the NFL again. Goes to Seattle, and Pete Carroll's got him looking like a fantastic quarterback.
I mean, yeah, he was in a quarterback competition this offseason with Drew Lock.
Yeah. That's a bad QB room. Of course he's going to win the starting job, but now he's playing games and throwing well and looking like a competent quarterback.
Mm-hmm. He's got top 5 quarterback stats. I mean, stat-wise in the league. He's looking great.
Funny enough, we mentioned last week, he looks better stat-wise than Russell Wilson
does.
Oh,
he looks way better than Russell Wilson does. But, I mean, yeah. I'm sure Broncos fans kind of wish they had Geno Smith right now.
Yeah, facts.
Next game, another, sort of shock. The Dolphins and the Jets. Teddy Bridgewater was ruled out of this one early with a concussion. So the Dolphins had to play rookie 7th round pick Skylar Thompson.
Who?
Yeah.
Right.
Skylar Thompson had to play for the Dolphins. So, you can kind of predict what happened next. If you're starting a 7th round rookie, you're probably not going to get the win. It doesn't matter who you're playing. And this Jets team, they're not as bad as the previous Jets teams are. They are 3-2 now. They have a winning record.
Yeah, which is incredible. My apologies personally to all of our viewers who took our advice in the fantasy episode to not take anyone from New York. I would like to officially put out an apology because let me tell you what, all 3 New York teams look better than I thought they would, other than the Bills. The Bills are obviously fantastic, as we thought they would be. But the Giants and the Jets, they look way better than I ever thought they would. They're winning games. They look good. I don't understand why.
I saw this thing, and it was the first time in, I don't remember how many years, but it was the first time in a long time that the Giants and the Jets each have a winning record. And that includes week 1 if they just both go 1-0. It hasn't happened in that long.
That's really
it doesn't matter that they're beating Skylar Thompson. They're winning games. A couple years ago, they still would have lost to Skylar Thompson. And the Jets are looking really good. Zach Wilson's 2-0 coming back from his injury. The Jets and the Giants, they got a lot to be happy about right now. Sure, they might not be Super Bowl contenders or even playoff contenders, but they've outdone everyone's expectations already.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to cut into your time, viewer. I'm going to take away a bunch of your time really quick here because I would like to talk about the NFL concussion.
Oh, yeah. I really don't like this.
Okay, so this is how it works now. After the Tua Tagovailoa injury, where he obviously goes down week 3, gets up, is a little shaky, finishes the game, and then comes in week 4, gets slammed on the ground, goes into that paralytic state, and now he's got way messed up neurological stuff going on. So he's out for who knows how long. The NFL and the NFL Players Association have reached an agreement that they will revise concussion protocol. The revision being that there's spotters now on the sidelines of the games that watch for these head collisions, and then if a player stumbles or looks disoriented, then it doesn't matter if they pass the concussion protocol that has been in place for who knows how long. It doesn't matter because they stumbled. That means that they don't get to come back into the game and play. So that's what happened to Teddy Bridgewater. Is he got hit in the head. He stumbled a little bit, and so even though he passed concussion protocol, which he should have been able to come in based on the old rules, he was ruled that he couldn't come out, or he couldn't come back in. So that's why they had to play with a 3rd-string guy. My problem with this, I'm all for player safety. That's totally cool. My problem is, you're paying these guys to play football. So, and it's their career that's on the line. So if you as the coach decide you want to put them in, and they as the player decide they want to take that risk, I say go for it. What happens if you're in postseason and the spotter sees Patrick Mahomes stumble a little bit after a hit? Does he come out of the game and now the Chiefs lose because the spotter decided that Patrick Mahomes can't play?
Yeah. I think I think it's an overreaction from the NFL's part. It was a freak injury. Literally 99 times out of 100, that isn't going to happen. There's a reason that it's the first time it's happened and it's being freaked out. Now it's because it's never happened before. Mm-hmm. And it was on the national spotlight. If it was a normal Sunday night game, it wouldn't be talked about like it is. But it's because it was a Thursday night. Everyone was watching it. It was a big game, and it was a freak accident with a good player. That's why I think it was way overreacted. And like you said, now if one person's a little stumbly, they're out, and they can't come back in, and then it's a whole difference in the game.
Yeah. It's an overreaction. I'm glad that they're trying to keep the players safe, but at the end of the day, they're professionals. It's their career that's on the line, and you're paying them.
Right.
It's not up to the NFL to decide if they play or not.
Yeah.
Just my take.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with you.
Anyway, we can move on past that. Sorry for wasting your time.
Next game, we got the Falcons and the Bucks. Due to time, we did have a clip from this game, but do we still want to show it? We can just talk about it.
Yeah, we can just talk about it.
All right.
It's fine.
So,
actually, Sue Ellen, just roll it in the background while we talk.
Yeah, can you do that? All right, so the Bucks were playing the Falcons, and the Falcons made an incredible comeback. Here's the clip right there. If you're tune into the YouTube to see that, it's in the background. But the Falcons make an incredible comeback, and they're down by 6 with 3 minutes to go, and it's 3rd down. The Bucs snap. The Falcons get in. Grady Jarrett makes a great move, gets to Tom Brady, grabs him, brings him down for the sack. 4th down. Falcons are getting the ball for a chance for the lead.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Here comes the flags. They call roughing the passer on Grady Jarrett.
Brady didn't even throw the ball.
I can't tell you enough how bad of a call that was. Like, I'm all for, like, obviously I love the NFL, and I'm like, dude, like, everyone's like, Tom Brady's like a cheater, the NFL is a little bit scripted, and I'm like, come on, like, no. After seeing this, it's like, this makes the NFL not even, like, watchable if they're going to be that, like, make sure Tom Brady's winning games. Like, if that was ridiculous.
Yeah, that was really bad. Obviously, roughing the passer and roughing the kicker, the same type of call where the quarterback throws it or the kicker kicks it. They're off balance. They're not like standing where they can take a hit because they just either kicked the ball away and they're on one leg, or threw the ball and they've just put all of their momentum forward. So if they take a hit, they eat that hit and it hurts and they can get injured. And so I understand roughing the passer and roughing the kicker. Good calls. But if you don't even throw the ball, that's not roughing the passer. You can't call that. That's just a sack.
Words can't describe how bad of a call it was, and I was furious. Just not as like a rooting against the Bucs fans, but just as a football fan. Like,
yeah,
the Dolphins got in trouble this offseason for tampering with the integrity of the game. But right there, that is tampering with the integrity of the game. You're taking a chance for the Falcons to win away, and you're just giving the Bucs the win. Like, that was...
Yeah. It wasn't even a hard throwdown or anything. It was a tackle that happens routinely in every NFL game 1,000 times.
A little ridiculous.
Terrible call by the referee.
Yeah. Next game, Titans and Washington. I mean, that Washington made it a game towards the end. They came back, got down to 2 with a chance for the lead, down by 4, and Carson Wentz threw an interception to end the game. I mean, Titans, they started 0-2, and now they're 3-2, riding a good winning streak. I mean, they're doing what they need to do to win.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, do what they need to do to win. They're not playing well, but, a win's a win. And as long as those tallies in the win column keeps going up, that's what matters.
Yeah. Next game, there's a lot. This is crazy to me.
This was a shocking game. This is Texans Jaguars. We both picked the Jaguars because they've been playing pretty well. They've played a lot of good teams and made it close. So I really believed that the Jags were going to win this. And then the Jags did not win this. Trevor Lawrence basically threw the game away in the back of the end zone. Houston picks it off to basically win the game. There were a bunch of crazy plays. Dameon Pierce looks really good as a running back for some reason. He looks fantastic. And Davis Mills looked pretty good. Like, it was a really shocking day for the Texans. I was really surprised. But, good on them for getting the win.
Yeah. I mean, everyone's saying the Jags are for real. We are saying the Jags are for real. And then they lose to the Eagles last week, who the Eagles, great team. But, I mean, now they're losing to the Texans. I mean, who knows if they are for real?
Are they for real, or were just a fluke those couple games?
Yeah, they're maybe one of the exceptions for it's week 5. We don't really know about Jacksonville yet. We might have to wait a couple weeks.
Yeah, for sure. All right, San Francisco, Carolina Panthers. I'll let you talk about this one.
I've been on my phone for a little bit, if you couldn't tell, and I was trying to find this happy music. Matt Rule is gone. It was announced this morning. Matt Rule has been fired. Panthers got obliterated, shockingly, I know. But I could not be happier. They took a major step in the right direction. Matt Rule's gone. They fired the defensive coordinator, who there's been a lot of things about how the defensive coordinator, no one likes him because he's trying to run a college defense. And everyone's like, we are not a college. Like, he's trying to run 3 blitzers, like 3 guys on the line, and then the rest are DBs. Like, nothing. And they're like, you can't do this in the NFL. And he's like, no. And so there's been a lot of drama with that. Matt Rule gets fired. Hallelujah. The defensive coordinator gets fired. Okay, let's go. Sure, we might not be good. Sure, we're going to still be awful the rest of this season. But Matt Rule is fired. We took 8 steps in the right direction today. I do not care. We might not win a game the rest of the season, okay? I get it. We don't have, our coach, we didn't have a coach before, but this coach has it's an interim coach. He's coming in, no experience. He doesn't have any, what's the word? He doesn't have anything with this team. He's going to come and he's going to try to make something work after having no time to work, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Sure, we might not win. We might end up with the first pick. If that happens, even better. Then we go out and we get a quarterback. I'm so happy that Matt Rule's gone. Literally all over Instagram today, all these NFL fan accounts are like, I'm so happy for Panthers fans today. Their franchise is finally moving in the right direction. I was so happy when he was gone. And and then they interviewed the owner today. He's like, it was time. We won't tolerate losing. It only took so much losing, but I'm ecstatic. I've said this a lot. We're not going to be good this year. Baker is also came out today. Baker, high ankle sprain.
Yeah.
Baker's going to be missing multiple weeks. So there's more reasons that actually we could be competitive now, but we're going to be rolling out PJ Walker against the Rams and then the Bucks. Sorry, PJ, but
taking 2 L's there.
That's fine. We're going to have a fresh start after the season, obviously, unless the interim comes out and just incredible. We're going to go get our new coach, make the right choice. I'm praying. Can't be worse than Rule. And then he gets his fresh start, probably with the top 3 pick in the draft. Take a quarterback that you want, start your team. We're good. There has been reports that teams now are trying to go and get good players from the Panthers. They're like, oh, here, we'll give you picks to help rebuild your team. They're acting like it's a fire sale. Here, we want this guy, we want this guy.
Yeah.
But I understand. I'm okay with some of that. Obviously, don't trade away DJ Moore. Don't trade away the defense. The defense is incredible. If we can keep our defense, awesome. Don't trade the defense. Don't trade
the
DJ
fact
Moore.
That you're running a college defense and they look that dominant is incredible.
Exactly. And then obviously, there's been a lot of talks about McCaffrey within the last hour. They're saying 6 teams have called the Panthers today about McCaffrey. And a team that's came up a lot is the Bills. And McCaffrey is my favorite player in the league. By far. Rightfully so. He's the best player on our team. And I obviously do not want him traded. He's been on our team forever. But if I'm really going to say, I think he will get traded. I hope I'm wrong, but I think he will. And if he does get traded, I would hope he'd go to Buffalo because I would love to see McCaffrey get a Super Bowl. He's stuck with our team for so long, and our team's been so bad. He's just done everything for us. And if we can flip him and get a couple picks, obviously I'd rather have McCaffrey, but if we're going to flip some players and get some picks. He's a good player,
so he'll get some good picks for him. Right. But, yeah, congratulations, Carolina. I'm so happy for you guys.
I am too, man. I was at work today with my dad, and I looked down, and I see breaking news, Matt Rule's fired, and I was like, oh my goodness. I didn't know it was actually possible. But, yeah, that's why I said happy Monday, because I'm in a good mood.
He's in a fantastic mood. He's never coming off this high. All right. Oh, but anyway, he didn't actually get to the.
Oh, right. No, Niners kind of smoked them. Baker
won.
threw pick 6. Kind of expected.
But Matt Rule's gone, so it doesn't matter. All right. Cowboys, LA. Cooper Rush is the real deal, man.
Is he?
He is the real deal.
Is he, though? The Dallas defense is the real deal.
Dallas defense is the real deal. Micah Parsons is the real deal. He will win Defensive Player of the Year.
He is phenomenal.
He is the best ever. He leads the league in sacks. He was the quickest player to however many sacks he has now. He's only had 21 games, and he has incredible number of sacks at this point. But Dallas won. They beat the Rams. The Rams, time to panic. You don't look good. You keep floundering games. You don't look like you know what you're doing at all. Matthew Stafford hasn't thrown a touchdown in 3 games. It's bad in LA. It looks bad.
It does.
It looks good in Dallas.
Dude, you say Cooper Rush is the real deal. A lot of people say Cooper Rush is the real deal. Obviously he's winning them games, and that's what matters. Your stats don't matter. But he's not doing anything to win them these games. Yeah, he's not making mistakes and throwing interceptions, but I don't think Dak was doing that either. They're playing really good football around him. They have a really good running game. Tony Pollard, I think he's a great running back, and he's shown that he's
better than Zeke by a mile.
He's way better than Zeke. I think he's great. But the Cowboys defense, I don't know if I've seen a defense like that in a while. I mean, their defense is really...
we're talking like Purple People Eaters, Steel Curtain type defense going on.
They've looked great.
Dallas.
I mean, obviously, they should keep playing Cooper Rush because if they bring back Dak and then they lose, the whole world will end to be like, this is why you keep in Cooper Rush. So I think, I mean, obviously, they're winning games with him. Keep him in until something goes wrong. And then once something goes wrong, then you bring back Dak.
Yeah.
But
I mean, they're paying Dak too much to not start him when he comes back, so he will start. But, it just shows that this is why you pay backup quarterbacks. Because he's been playing well, and so it's like, yeah, your season could have been over when Dak got injured, and now you could be 0-5 at this point. But instead, you're 4-1, which is why you pay a backup.
yeah,
So good job, Cooper Rush, coming in, keeping Dallas competitive, and fantastic job, Dallas defense, for being the best ever.
I mean, yeah, he's looked great, but like we said, Dallas defense. First drive, Dallas defensive touchdown. The next drive, Rams are punting, blocked. The Cowboys get it at like the Rams 20, 3 and out, field goal. I mean, Cooper Rush, yeah, he's winning them games, but he's not doing the stuff to win them the games. He's just being the game manager and making sure they don't lose the game.
That's what they need at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So good job, Cowboys.
Yeah.
Austin, real quick. When you were talking about the defense, you said purple people eaters. What does that mean?
You don't know what the Purple
People
People Eaters?
Eaters was the Vikings defense a long time ago, and it was one of the best defenses like in history.
Yeah. Purple People Eaters, Steel Curtain, Legion of Boom, 85 Bears. Those are the 4 best defenses that have ever existed.
All right, we'll go with that.
Okay.
It's fine. This is why Sulan is behind the camera, not in front of the camera like us.
No, I was just tripping. I was like, what in the world is a purple people eater?
Now you know. This is why you listen to the KNA Football Podcast, so you can be educated on things like this. There you go. You've been enlightened.
Yeah.
All right.
We should probably just hurry through these next couple games, 'cause I think we're really long on time. But Eagles, Cardinals. Eagles, for only 5-0 team in the league. They look good.
Yeah. I sent Debbie a clip of this one, but we don't have to play it because it doesn't matter. It was just the clip of Arizona missing the field goal, which gave the Eagles
the
win, which puts them at 5-0, which good for them. I personally like an undefeated team in football.
I love it.
I think it's so much fun. It makes me want to root for them because I do want to see them go all the way, win the whole Super Bowl. I think that's fun. It brings a lot of hype to the team.
Yeah, the 72 Dolphins they're kind of snobby. I mean,
yeah, we need to knock them off their high
Right,
horse. Come on, Eagles, I'm pulling for you all the way.
yeah, let's go modern day.
But yeah, Eagles look good. What really ended up winning the Eagles this game was that Kyler Murray, on a third down, they call up a QB draw play. Kyler Murray runs.
Or no, it was on a second down.
Was it on a second down?
Yeah, because,
it was on a second down. You're right. On a second down, they call up a QB draw play. Kyler Murray runs, slides before the first down marker. He believes that he has the first down, but because he ran and they were low on time, no timeouts, he runs up and spikes the ball to stop the clock, which brings up 4th down when they thought that it was going to be then 2nd down at that point.
Yeah.
So then they had to kick the long field goal, which ended up losing them the game. So it's an unfortunate error by Kyler Murray because he could have got the first down.
Yeah, I mean, boneheaded mistake by him. That's why you gotta be 100% sure before you spike that ball. Like, maybe spend more time doing football stuff instead of playing Call of Duty.
Never know. Yeah,
Whatever.
Anyway, good job, Eagles. Eagles get the win, 5-0. Pulling for them all the way.
Yeah, keep going, Eagles. Next game, Bengals, Ravens, last night's game. It was, I mean, the Bengals, a little bit to worry about. Their offense should be dominant with all of their weapons, but it's not. Their head coach, not great at calling plays, and then Justin Tucker is still Justin Tucker, and he drills the game winner. They said if the field goal post was a half a yard wide, he would have made it. It was that straight down the middle.
Yeah, legend has it that if Justin Tucker kicks a field goal, it is mathematically proven that if you split right where the ball went through, it will be perfect halves on either side.
Incredible. Like, he is out of this world of a kicker. But Bengals have a lot to worry about. I mean, their offense should be unstoppable, and it's not.
Yeah, it doesn't look like last year. I'm starting to look pretty smart for saying they're falling off. I did, when we were picking, the division champions and everything, I did pick them to do well. But my original take that they were going to fall off from last year is looking pretty good right about now.
Yeah. Who knows? And then before we go, let's pick Thursday night's game.
Yeah, well, it's up here on the screen unless you want to change yours.
No, that's not the Thursday night game. This is tonight's game.
That's just tonight game. That's my bad.
Thursday night game, obviously, our pick'ems won't be till after the Thursday night game. Bears and Washington. Who you got?
Bears, Washington. I'm going to be honest with you here. I'm going to take Washington, and I am going to, this week, in every league that I have one league where I have Aaron Rodgers and Carson Wentz, and Carson Wentz has been riding the bench. Carson Wentz is getting a promotion in that league. Aaron Rodgers will be riding my bench, and Carson Wentz will be getting the starting role in my fantasy team.
You know, that makes me really mad that you picked Washington, because, like, as bad as they have been, they've looked good offensively. And the Bears, again, have also looked good, but they don't have anything. I mean, Washington, they've got Terry McLaurin, they've got Curtis Samuel, and now Brian Robinson. He played on Sunday, and now he'll be in an improved role. I think Brian Robinson is going to be a top running back in the league in a year or two. Obviously, not right away.
Yeah, I'm rooting for him to be good, man.
Love him.
The fact that he gets shot, comes back 6 weeks later, or a little bit more than that, but he comes back just a little while later, playing in an NFL game.
Right.
Love the guy.
Yeah, which is why I'm also picking Washington. I was kind of going to hope you would pick the Bears, but
yeah.
I would love to pick the Bears because it's Justin Fields, but I just don't think they have any offense to be able to sustain it. But
yeah.
Oh, and our picks, we don't have them pulled up this week because Debbie's not here, and it's just a lot of technical stuff to have to add on. But we did make the poll, and you guys voted.
That's true.
And it is 70%, or not 70. It was
overwhelming support.
Overwhelming majority vote was the loser of the punishment has to go. I mean, you see it every year. The loser of a fantasy football league always does something like this. This is a very common football-related punishment, and it's a good one. I'm glad it was picked.
It's a good one.
The loser of the pick'ems has to go to a Waffle House and spend 24 hours at Waffle House, but every waffle they eat takes an hour off their time.
Yeah.
It should be a lot of fun for whoever is watching.
Yeah, for whoever's watching and not for whoever's participating, which will definitely be me at this point. Like I said, week 5, time to start panicking. I am starting to panic a little bit because I wonder, my picks have been doing very poorly recently.
My thoughts on this is, who's paying for these waffles?
That's what I want to know too.
The K&A fund?
Hey,
go fund me.
Everyone out there. We're going to start streaming on Twitch. We want you all to come. Yeah, we need you guys to come over, actually sponsor. If you know someone that wants to shout out on the K&A Football Podcast, we will take, we'll shout you out on the podcast for a little bit of money. Speaking of shout-outs.
I was just about to say, do you want to say it?
You can say it.
No, you got this.
All right, I got this. All right.
Shout out to, okay, I'm going to start it. Obviously, we got some fans, listeners of the podcast, real ones.
Yeah.
Love you guys. And I don't know how many people actually listen to full episodes. And we did find out this weekend that one of our friends from Indiana listens to every episode the whole way through.
And then goes and tells all her friends to go and listen.
I did not hear that. That was even better.
Yeah. It's
Shout
fantastic.
out. Yeah.
Shout out to Mariah Brunson from Indiana. I don't know your town name.
Montgomery. No, yeah. Montgomery.
Yeah, Montgomery, Indiana, with your one yield sign. Sometimes that's what counts. We are a nationwide podcast at this point. We've spanned out from just one state. We got listeners in multiple states now.
And we have listeners in Saudi Arabia.
We have listeners.
Let's go!
Logistics. Hey, but you know what? Shout out to Mariah Brunson, a real one, a true fan of the podcast. Dilly.
The whole town, all 20 of them.
All 20 people in the town. They all got to know.
Mariah, now you know. Since we gave you that shout out, we'll be waiting for our money.
Waiting for the donation.
But, yeah, anything you want to say before we go?
Not too much.
Yeah.
Go Browns.
Yeah, thank you for listening to this episode of the K&A Football Podcast. Matt Rule's fired. It's a good day in Carolina. It was a good week of football. See you next time.
Thank you for watching another episode of K&A Football. Don't forget to follow us on YouTube, Instagram, and you can listen to our podcast wherever you get your podcasts.
If you want to listen to our last video, literally just click our page and go to it. You're already on the page. It's not that hard. Just go find it. Peace.